So I'm just gassing up to head to IKEA. It's about 45 to 50 minutes away. I've got some shopping to do. I've got some fun ideas. And so we'll just finish up here and hopefully I'll have a little money left over after paying for gas, and then we will be on our way.
Teach me to fly, I won't be coming down. Could somebody wake me up? I don't want.
So I'm kind of short on time today, so I'm gonna head straight to the marketplace.
I just see her face wherever I look, she's standing in the crowd. So let go, I don't want to, but I'm gonna try. When she left me, yeah, let a little bit inside, you know.
As I'm shopping here, I'm kind of rethinking my plan for this episode, so stay tuned. I might be doing different hacks than I originally planned on.
I'm so sick of waiting and getting too restless to be in this dusty town.
Okay, so I found these towels and they are ginormous, and I love the texture on the outside and they're super soft on the inside. I think we can jazz them up a little. So I'm getting some of these.
I don't want to be here and let the world pass me by. I won't see your face wherever I look, I'm blinded by the light.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but I feel like I have to get it. And this will probably end up in a pile of things that I have yet to DIY. That happens to me a lot. I don't know if you can feel me on that one.
Maybe things are gonna be alright, 'cause I just wanna see the light. Yeah, I just wanna see the light.
I have run out of time. I need to get out of here or I'm gonna miss picking up my son from school. So we're back from IKEA, and I went in with one plan and I came out with another. And sometimes that happens. We need to be flexible and move forward. For our first DIY IKEA hack, we are gonna be doing a hack on the, watch me slaughter this name, Malgrota lidded box. I saw this and I thought that it had a lot of potential. It was real wood and you can never go wrong with like a lidded box. One of the first things that I noticed was kind of the yellow undertones of this box, and I thought for it to be kind of like true to its Scandinavian heritage that it needed to be a little bit less yellow and a little bit more whitewashed. But the first thing we're going to do to this box is we are going to drill a little hole for a handle that we're going to put in. And I wanted to drill that first, and then what we're going to do is we're going to give it a whitewash. So we're going to take some clear glaze from Waverly and we're going to mix it with a plaster colored chalk paint, and we're going to just shake that up. It's a glaze that I've been using on a lot of my whitewashing projects. It looks really nice and I think it will work for this as well. And I simply just brush it onto the box and then kind of wipe it off with like a dry towel. You don't want to use something that's damp because I think it will take too much of it off. We kind of want to leave some of it on and kind of blend it in and just go over the entire top and bottom of the box and then let that dry. Then I had this really cool two-piece knob because it's going to be most likely going into a little bathroom renovation that I've got coming up. I wanted to put a little touch of black on it. Now you could do another color and I actually think it would look really cool, but I did decide to go ahead with a black spray paint and I spray painted that on, and then I thought it would be really cool to kind of like add a little tassel on it. I did a tassel out of black yarn. I did one kind of out of a white with a hint of gold in it, since that's some of the other accents that we're going to be putting in that bathroom as well. And then ultimately I landed on just doing one out of jute twine, and all I did is wrap it around my hand like 30 times, and then you take another piece and tie a knot on it. You can cut off the bottom to kind of like make it more of like a tassel. Then you take the jute twine, wrap it around, make a knot, and then I let the excess kind of become part of that tassel. you'll notice that it's all kind of curly, and that kind of happens with jute twine. And the way you get it all straight again is once you have your tassel the way you want it, go saturate it in water and then wring out the excess and then let it dry. And you can kind of like, as it dries, make sure it dries nice and flat. Then I assembled it all together, put the knob on the box and tied on our little tassel. And then at this point I'm like, yeah, it's just too shiny. So I take it off the box, and it was okay because actually the screw is a little bit long, and I take some black chalk paint and just chalk paint the knob. It's a much more matted down finish, which I think will work better. And once that's dry, I go to reassemble it. Another little hack for you, if you have a screw that's just a little bit too long, I keep a bag of washers that are in the size of a cabinet screw. You can screw 1 or 2 of them on, and that will shorten it up and tighten it so you don't have a loose knob. I really like how this box turned out. Right here, I'm just displaying it in my last bathroom renovation because I haven't really started this next renovation quite yet. It's gonna be starting soon, so stay tuned for that. What do you think of this box? So next up on our shopping trip, I found these really cute little puppy bums with a little tail on them, and they are a hook. Since I'm going to be doing the bathroom makeover for my boys, I thought it would be really cute to use these as towel hooks, but I thought that they could use a little elevation and a little bit more bulk to them. And I actually had a couple of Dollar Tree wood canvas frames that, you know, you see a lot of people use. I don't peel off the paper, don't do anything to it. I just simply take it outside, spray it in a matte black finish, and let that dry. You could take whatever piece of wood that you have on hand. If you have scrap wood, this was just something that I thought would be super easy and convenient, and so that's what I decided to use. So once we've got this dry, I had some wooden dowels that I could just put in near the top to add a little place to put a hook, and then I also put a little strip in the middle, and then I use just some Gorilla clear gel glue, which is really strong grip. It takes a little bit of time to cure, so I also use a little hot glue for that instant stick. And then of course I take our little hanger and attach that using a drill and some screws. But again, you might not even need to do this step. Now the reason I added that cleat in there is because we need to add a screw, and it needs to have something to kind of stick to. So that will kind of help give some stability to the screw that we're gonna put on the other side. And so then I just put the screw in the front of it, and then we put on our little puppy bum hook. It's so cute. And that's it, super easy. I think if I were to do this again, I'd probably use just maybe like a scrap piece of wood, paint it out really good. It would simplify it a lot more. Having said that, I do feel like using these little Dollar Tree canvases gives you like a prettier finish, whereas if you were to use the scrap wood, it might have like a little bit more rough finish. So this is what they look like, super cute. This is not where they're gonna be hanging, but what do you think of these little hooks? Dolly, what did you find? You can't eat my IKEA hacks. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you getting into trouble? To go on these new hooks, I picked up these most amazing towels, the Salvican towels. I have a feeling that I'm gonna have to go back and get a few more of them. But I grabbed a couple of these, and the way I wanted to elevate them is to kind of give them a little bit of a Turkish towel look. You know, that Turkish towels are so in right now. My thought is I picked up these rugs from the Dollar Tree, and they are really gonna tie into the whole look and feel of this bathroom makeover that I'm gonna be doing. I really liked the black and white kind of herringbone pattern on them, and the tassels that are on the ends of it kind of have that Turkish towel feel. After cutting off about 6 inches on either side of these rugs to get the tassels, we need to make it wide enough to fit our towel. Just sew a simple straight stitch to piece them together, and once we have the correct length, we put right sides together and stitch down the length of the towel. Then we finish off the edges with a zigzag to prevent fraying. Then we flip down our rug and top stitch it to finish it off. Then we repeat this on the other side. Now, this ended up being a little bit heavy for our puppy hooks. It still works, but something a tad lighter would be better. But I love the overall look of these towels. What do you think? I'm not looking forward to saying the name of the next IKEA hack, but we're gonna give it a whirl. Kafabona. It's some black baskets that they have in the planter section. I always like to do something with a little bit of greenery. I am a serial plant killer. I like the greenery in my home, but I don't want to kill them. So that's to ease my guilty conscience. I knew I wanted to do something in their shower to add a little bit of greenery and life. So we're going to do a really quick makeover on these baskets to just elevate them just a touch. We are just going to tape off the bottom and the top, and then I'm going to take some gold rub and buff. I really love rub and buff because I feel like it's a really durable and pure metallic finish. I just tape that off and brush on some rub and buff and let it dry very quickly, and then peel back the tape. And then I wanted to turn it into a hanging basket. So I just had some Dollar Tree, well, actually I kind of stole these from my friend Lisa because they were out of them in the store. So thanks, Lisa. I got some metal hanging chains from the Dollar Tree. If you see them in store, stock up on them because they don't carry them year round and they are so handy. So then I just take these chains and hook them into the basket, and you can leave them that way. Now I wanted to shorten one of them up, so I removed about 6 inches of chain from one of them so they kind of have like a staggered effect. And in the shower there's already like another towel bar, and I'm gonna actually just hang these baskets in there with a couple of their fake plants. And I really like this look, and I cannot wait to see this fully stylized. I've got a makeover coming on the shower that's gonna be renter friendly. It's super easy and awesome, so stay tuned for that. But what do you think of this simple and easy hack? So I did another IKEA hack episode where I focused in on bathroom stuff, and I did a soap dispenser, and I got a lot of really good feedback. So I'm doing another one on this one, kind of similar look, but a little bit different. And so these ones were kind of black. They're called the Cone soap dispensers, and they kind of have like a really matte black finish on them. And then I also got the matching toothbrush holder. So super easy. You could leave the lid, the shiny silver color. I know that I'm going to be doing kind of like gold tones. I first start by trying to put on some of that rub and buff in the gold. For some reason, it was just not wanting to adhere very well to that shiny, slippery soap dispenser pump. So what I ended up doing is taking it outside and I spray painted it. That's what I did with the last one. It worked out really good. And while that was drying, designed this free printable, which I will be providing for you, and also a link to some waterproof vinyl peel and stick paper. Put it through your printer and then cut out the little sticker and then peel off the backing and then just stick it to the front of the soap dispenser. And then I also made one for the toothpaste dispenser. Soap dispenser says, wash your hands, you filthy animal. I need to remind my boys to wash their hands, and the other one says brush your teeth because they need reminding of that as well. But I also love kind of like the typography look. If you like this one, you might like the other soap dispenser sticker I made as well, and I will provide the link to that episode in the description box below. And that's it for that. It's just a simple, easy way to kind of elevate it and make it look a little bit different. So in that same bathroom IKEA hack, I did kind of like this toilet paper holder that had a shelf to put your cell phone on. That was very controversial. Either people were like, yes, that's amazing, I need a place for my cell phone, or they were like, ew, that's disgusting. disgusting. Why would you ever bring your cell phone into the bathroom? Totally get it. But I do have another toilet paper holder kind of elevation. When I went to buy the other one that I used for that hack, I saw this dispenser and I was so tempted to get it. This time around, I did get it, and we're gonna do a quick and easy hack on it. It's just because I knew that the toilet paper holder dispensers that we have in our house, not only were they like laid out in the most horrible way. For example, where this is going into my kid's bathroom, it's all the way across the wall. Like, you have to reach so far. There's no way tiny little arms can reach that toilet paper holder. Anyways, we're gonna put it in a different location. But before we install, I need to tell you how we hacked it. I think it looked really cool the way it was, honestly, but I thought there was a fun way we could elevate it and kind of give it like an Art Deco feel. I'm just gonna add some gold accents. So what I started out by doing is I taped it off where I wanted to paint, and I thought it would be okay if I just very carefully brushed it on and didn't follow my very strict striping rule, which I usually do to prevent any bleeding. I thought it would work out okay because the rub and buff is not like super runny, it's very creamy. I thought we would be fine. I was wrong. Follow this very helpful tip that I'm always preaching on this channel. Before you put it on, what we're gonna do is we're gonna seal the edges. And in this case, I just used some black chalk paint because it was kind of already a matte black finish, and I figured if it bled, you wouldn't be able to tell. And I was right, because there was like a little bleeding of the black, and you really, honestly, unless you were like inspecting with a magnifying glass, you couldn't tell. And once that black chalk paint is dry, then go back over the top with a rub and buff until it's like nice and full, and let that dry. And I also did like the outside round circles on the little toilet paper ring and let that fully dry. Then we pulled back the tape and the lines are crisp, and it just looks better. It really does. And then I'm just gonna install this on the side of my bathroom vanity. That's where it's gonna be going when I do the bathroom renovation. And that's it for this. Like, all of these were super easy, very doable, don't you think? And just that little extra gives it kind of like a really fun vibe. But if you have like more of like a modern farmhouse look, you could just leave it as is. If you enjoyed this episode, here's another one that I think you'll like as well. And if you haven't done so already, consider hitting that subscribe button right there. It's super easy to do, and I would love it if you joined the DIY Niner family. And to all of my DIY Niners, I just want to remind you that you are more powerful than you know. We'll see you next time. Bye.